Cool.
Can I throw this away?
Yes, please.
I'm tired.
Alexa, off. Alrighty, guys. So now I'm going to go through my presentation that I worked very, very hard on. So you guys have a copy of it, actually. So all my slides, everything, if you want to follow through, they're all this one right here. So it's all in there. You guys want to follow through. Please ask questions. This is going to be very quickly. Go quick if you don't. So I'm going to go through, basically just go through our business, everything that we're doing, and then spend some time on the things that we've had success on in this last quarter. So first thing is our production. So this was as of like 2 days ago, year to date. We are at 40 closings, 22 buyers, 18 sellers. So the way that breaks down is 45 and 55%. Average.
This is the tool that you had custom.
Yeah, this is DataBox. So this is what we custom built. Our average commission between buy side and list side is 3.23%. So that's like list and buy side combined. This time last year, we were at 31 transactions. So total transaction count, we're up 31% this year. We were at 19 buyers, so we've done 3 more. We were at 12 sellers, and so we're doing 18. So we've actually increased the listings sold by 50% year to date so far. So same time period last year. All right, so that's our production. On the listing side of the business, this is what's the most exciting, where we've had the most success. Because of the Mastermind in Texas in April and the conversations me and Chris had around the fire, that's what caused me to go out and start the inside sales team. We just hit 1 year anniversary of having the inside sales team. So I had 4 inside sales agents. And so total listing appointments set year to date as of 2 days ago is 105. Same time period last year, we were at 42. So we've increased by 150%. Mets, we were at 39 last year. We were at 56. So you can see our conversion has gone down, right? So last year, I was setting all the appointments for myself. So our conversion was like through the roof. I went on almost every single one of them, and I took a lot of them, right? So listings 1, like it gets worse and worse, right? We've only taken 30 listings this year. This same period last year, we had taken 23. So the gap isn't as big there, right? But we still are up. So we're up 30%. We've closed 18, like I said. Average list price, this is going to be skewed because we get these little land listings that are like 9 grand, 10 grand, right? But we are charging like our minimum commission and sometimes more. So it makes sense financially to do the deals. But when I have like a bunch of little listings, they're going to bring our average down. So we're probably closer in like the mid 3s to 400 on the actual houses that we sell. And then average commission on the list side is 4.13%. So we're still doing good over 4. Yeah, majority of our listings we do take at 7% or higher, or 4.5 now. But on the buy side, these are our KPIs for the entire team year to date. So
your dashboard, all this dashboard, is this just for you to look at, or do you go through this? With the team, this dashboard?
Every quarter, I'll go through something like this where I'll show how we did for the quarter, like listing appointments set, all that. Yeah, I would use this. Yeah. So this is my Sisu, basically, right? I didn't like Sisu, so we went out and made our own. Like I said, 22 buyers closed. So on the KPIs, the lead measures, what's crazy is we are exactly the same number of appointments set. What's up, Alfonso? So we're at 345 buyer appointments set, the same exact number last year, which is crazy to me. Appointments met were actually down. We were at 230 this time last year. We were at 224 this year, but that's a pretty good show-up rate. Buyer reps signed were up 100%, but that is because the new law changed, right? So that's kind of like, take it with a grain of salt. Now everyone signs a buyer rep as soon as you meet them, basically. So that's naturally going to be higher for everyone, in my opinion. Open escrows, we are at 29 on the buy side this year. Same time last year, we're at 25, so we're up there.
What do you mean open escrow?
Like they opened escrow.
Like they pended?
Pended, yeah, pending transaction. Yeah, they went under contract.
Okay.
Yeah. Showings, we're way up on showings. We've had 487 showings this year. Same time last year, 363, so we're up 47%. Open houses, so getting the agents to actually do open houses. We've done 148 open houses this year. Same time last year, we were at 85. Wow. And then offers written, we've written or submitted 88 offers on properties this year. So,
Track the 148 and the 88. Who keeps it?
so our agents, when they turn in their KPIs, they still manually turn in their KPIs every week. So to be on phone shift, they have to turn in their KPIs for that week by 11:59 on Sunday night. It's a Google form. It goes onto a spreadsheet, which is what goes up here. So every single week during our team meeting, after we do like the slides, we do go over the week's production. So calls, conversations, sets, mets, all of this stuff right here we do, plus calls and conversations. And that's how they get on the phone shift. So they got to hit 25 conversations to get on phone shift. All right.
The big glaring thing this year is listing site conversion.
Yeah, the biggest improvement we've had has been on listing opportunities. Now conversion. So Q2 is all about list side conversion. So we got to fix that. So I'm working with the inside sales team on that because it starts with appointment quality, right? As long as we're nailing all of the things like they have a real motivation, right? They can tie it back to one of the 6 reasons people sell. They want to move within 90 days. We're setting the appointment within 72 hours. All decision makers are going to be there. That's a really good appointment to set, right? Then it's all up to the agent and what they do with the appointment. And if they don't get it signed, it's only going to be one of the 3 reasons, right? They don't like the marketing plan, they don't like the price, or they don't like the person. And so if they don't get it, that's when we do the survey call and figure out which one it is, which I had done a few of those a couple weeks ago. And I was able to like find out a lot about the appointment and basically like rebook them. So
Are you filling out the SCI, seller counseling interview form, the Waters one?
we have a shortened version of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have because we do a lot of outbound. It's really hard to get a 3-page document filled out on an expired FSBO. I mean, so we have like, why do they want to sell? What's their time frame? How long have they lived there? Who are the decision makers? How fast do they want to sell? Confirm all the details of the house. Are they buying another property? If so, what and where? Do they need to make a certain amount?
With FUB and the transcript and the AI and everything, we're doing it on the call. The ISAs are doing it on the call. Then we have another IT member who fills out the SCI that goes to the listing.
Our inside sales agents do it. So on the call,
'Cause you're right.
it'll be in follow-up boss. They'll type in the notes like as they're doing it, right? And then what I do is I have SOPs for the inside sales agents. They'll copy and paste the seller counseling interview into the lead page, so the notes. So there's all the questions, and then they have to fill in all the answers. So we have every single seller appointment that gets set, we actually have the seller counseling interview copy and pasted on the follow-up boss with all of the answers. And right now, since we're focusing on appointment quality, they have to now, when it says why do they want to sell, they have to identify which of the 6 reasons it is. So like that is one, so it's either lifestyle upgrade, job relocation, divorce, death, financial, or medical. Their answer has to be one of those 6 reasons. They can say the more specific reason, like they inherited the property, or divorce kind of is always divorce, or they want to move out of state, right? Here, a lot of people move out of state, so that's lifestyle upgrade. It's not job relocation. So they can say, oh, they want to move to Texas, but the first answer has to be lifestyle upgrade. So if you cannot figure out which one of the 6 reasons it is, you need to ask more questions until you can figure it out.
I challenge you on the seller counseling and everything. You know, I think it's even more important on outbounds than it is inbounds.
To get all the questions answered?
Yeah,
Well,
like one of the last questions on the seller counseling interview is, you know, are you interviewing any other agents?
mhm.
And if they say yes, then, you know, it's a little bit of a guilt trip. Hey, we're going to spend several hours.
Yeah.
Do you have that in there?
We don't ask that question. So I treat every appointment as if they are, because almost all of our listing appointments, they are interviewing multiple agents. It's very rarely am I going on one.
If you have a hardcore closer, you want to be first.
Yep.
If you don't, then you want to be last. There's no excuses to why they leave. But you want that little blurb of text at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, if they say they're going to be competing with agents.
Yeah, it happens pretty regularly where I'll go to an appointment and before my appointment's up, the other agent's showing up. So that happened to me the other day twice. Lori McCarty showed up. So it's me, Brian Hicks, Lori McCarty, and John Busby. I feel like we do a lot of the advertising in town. So we get the same calls a lot of times. So then it's just like whoever gets it gets it. You know what I mean?
You should just tell us, I'll call them and cancel the appointment for you.
I do.
Yeah.
If I get it. Yeah, if they're wanting to go with me, I will. So sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Did you say you closed 40 transactions this year?
Yes.
What do you
I
gotta
think we're at
do?
41 now. We closed one yesterday.
What do you have to do to blow those people out of the water? So that it's not even a question who they should hire.
Well, I'm on Instagram Live right now, so I don't want to say too much. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that offline.
Yeah. So advertising, but they spend a lot more money. They've been around a lot longer than I have too. So for me, it's like a waiting game almost. Okay, financials. So you guys have a copy of my entire P&L in your folder as well. This is like the highlights, right? So we are at little over 82,000 in net profit this year, which is great because last year we were at negative 26,000 in profit this time last year. So we're actually positive and not bad. Our profit margin, which is really good, is we're almost 21% profit margin. So my goal is to be between 20 and 25, right? Last year we were at negative 11 because we.
Your conversion, I think we're getting up to 30.
Oh yeah.
Your COGS are so low in the outbound.
Exactly. Yeah. So listing appointment conversion is the big deal right now. So we got to find listing agents that can convert. Our income. So we're at revenue. We're at 393,000. Our COGS are 122. Our gross profit. So all our numbers are up. That's why there's a lot of green. 271. Our total expenses, which includes advertising, 194,000 for a net income of 82. Our gross profit margin is almost 69%. So our COGS are pretty reasonable. A lot of that has to do too with I am in production still. And so when I'm the one selling the listings, I don't take commission, right? And so I just make my salary.
You need to book that.
Book it. Yeah, because that'll drop it down. The caveat to listing side commission, it's only.
Just like if you're a regular agent.
Yeah, the caveat is it's only 10 to 15%, right? So it is still a lower amount than like a 50 to 60 or 70, whatever the split's going to be on a buy side. But yeah, it will reduce that.
Because if I do 2 or 3, I book it.
Yeah.
Because that's in reality, you're going to be paying it because you want to replace yourself there.
Yep. So that's probably why that's higher right now, is because I'm still in production.
Not surprise me, I don't know how we all do it, but you got your 6% royalty fee in
COGS.
COGS. I don't.
I've had it in and I've had it out. I mean, I don't pay royalty fees if I don't sell a deal, so.
Well, I have it down another expense because mine's bottom line.
Yeah. It's kind of. Do you do accrual? Yeah. Do you do accrual or do you do cash basis? If I did accrual, then it would make sense, but that's a lot.
I book it every month. And
Yeah.
I do the accrual, then when we pay it, we reverse the balance sheet item.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
So.
I want to see it. I just got to see that P&L. I got to see that number on my P&L.
Okay. It's on my P&L.
I don't want anybody to think it's, and I probably don't pay as often as you.
My.
I'm
I.
not too far behind, but you told me yours how you do it each time.
Yeah. So every single transaction, like that's the first thing that comes off the top. So. For like I do like profit first, right? So I break down, it's a lot of math on every single deal, but 6% comes off the top, that goes into a different account. Then I have the agent commission comes off the top, that goes into a different account. Taxes, operations, commission, all that goes into every single one of those things has its own bank account. And then what's left over at the end, that goes into my OpEx account. So I have a lot of bank accounts, but that's how I do it so that I'm never behind and I never like miss a payment.
I know.
I did know it too.
Yeah, it's profit first. That was one of the first books that he told me to read because financial. I did not come in strong financially. I still don't think I'm strong financially, but I am light years from where I was. Yeah, so that's just how I do it to make sure that I don't.
What do you?
Because I will spend the money because I like to spend money. Huh?
What percentage do you use for taxes?
What percentage do I use for taxes?
Taxes. I mean, when you say you have
10. I usually do 10% on gross.
on gross, okay.
Yeah, and it always ends up being too much. So like I got a tax refund this year, the last 2 years. So I have money set aside for taxes. I had 50 grand set aside for taxes last year, and I got a $6,000 return. So that was nice because then that all turns into profit, right? It goes into the business. So yeah, I have a good CPA. I live off my salary. So my salary, I pay I had to increase it a little bit. I think it's like 100K right now. But I'm trying to like get it down. I'm trying to like get more rental income so that I can just like not pay myself as much. And then it stays in the business, I can do more. Any questions on financials? This has been a big win for us too this year. I was very worried at the end of last year, like very worried. I still feel like I live paycheck to paycheck on the business because our expenses are high. So this is the biggest problem on the financial side of things. So operation costs, even though like these are very high on a per deal basis, right? I think I did the math like if we sold 200 deals or we hit 270 or something like that, my per deal operational costs, not including advertising, would be like $1,900, right? And so when we're only keeping on smaller deals, $3,000, $2,000, $1,500, like you might be losing money. So when I back, you know, commissions, royalty, taxes, and then my operational expenses, like we lose money on deals. And so because our price points are, you know, relatively low, and then on buy-side deals, it's like it's not profitable. Like you have to do a ton of them, right? And so that's where like the economies of scale will kick in though. We've already built out the entire foundation of awkward teenager stage, right? We just haven't hit explosive growth yet where like economies of scale kick in and now like my per deal operational cost is going down, down, down. So like I have every single scenario on a spreadsheet, my entire P&L of if we close 100 deals, if we close 120, if we close 150, if we close 170. And once we get, I think like 140 is break even, probably a little less now. But once we start to go up north of 200, you start to see profitability skyrocket. Like it goes up, like 20 to 30 deals makes a huge difference on once you get past that, right? But we have not been able to get past that yet. So that's another big, a big issue in the business right now, like it's low transaction count.
Do you have something, a per deal operational cost, like that I could, go by?
So all I did is I just looked at what my quarterly operational expenses were, and then I times it by 4 to get like what it would be on the year, right? As long as it doesn't change, like that's what I'll pay for the year. And then I just like went on a per deal, like say I closed 200 deals, I would just divide that number by 200. And then that's my operational cost per deal. So yeah, I can,
No, it's okay.
I do it on the, I just like
real,
did all the math in my, on a whiteboard. So
Got it, okay.
yeah, I can definitely do that.
Real quick question, you said the franchise fee, you said the agent commission, you said taxes. Is there anything else you pull right out of that commission check when you get that check, besides those 3?
Royalty, commission, operations manager bonus.
Those are some of your bonus pay.
Bonuses, yeah, if I do bonuses. I put that into the commission account because that's the account it gets paid out of. But when I'm doing my math, I separate that out.
Okay.
And then it goes into OpEx. So I have a book that I do all my math on every single deal. So we pay on the 1st and the 15th, and so right before each one of those paydays, I do all the math on all of our closings, so then once I do all the math, then I go and I transfer all the money. So all my money goes into one account, my income account, and then from there I disperse it to all the other accounts, right? And then that's what I do a few times a month. Yeah, if I could automate that, that would be fantastic. That is.
Celeste can do it.
Yes.
With all her time.
Yeah.
That's one thing she will eventually run, but she's got way too much shit to do right now.
No, you seem bored. You got plenty.
So she did tell me the other day, like once we get a listing manager, she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like, that's exactly the question I asked myself. Like,
That's how you know it's like that.
yeah, I'm like, that's good because then you can focus on higher level shit like lead conversion and making sure our systems are working. Like,
Yeah, because the 2 weeks that we didn't, or was it 1 or 2 weeks that we didn't have any listings going live, like when it was kind of stagnant, I was like,
yeah, we fired our listing manager because like the one good thing too. So big win, right? Bringing on Celeste, like. When I'm turning and burning listings, like that's all I cared about, right? Like I'm not paying attention to what other people are doing, especially operations, right? Like as long as the deal's closed, like I don't give a shit. But we're having a lot of mistakes, you know what I mean, on listing input, sellers getting upset. Yeah. And then when you hire a leader to start like, okay, now you're gonna watch these 3 people and see what they do all day, it's like, what are you doing all day long? Like, so putting an extra set of eyes, like another leader, extra set of eyes, like to where you're actually looking at the business, it like, it's a good thing. We're finding so many problems, right? Like we're finding every time we talk, it's like there's a spider web. Like we find one thing and then it spider webs into something else. But it's like, it's a good thing because now we know what we need to solve and work on, right, to make the system better.
How many people have delegated their, all their cash accounts and their complete payment from a standpoint of check, debit card, whatever, wires to a team member?
I do it all still.
You still do it all? You've delegated?
But I set Caitlin up with
I mean, do you?
Do you do your financials, all the bills and like commission checks and all that, or does you have someone on your team do it?
Your receipts, your commission receipts, your payment to your agents, your payment of all your expenses, payment of all your contractors. Jacob does all that for you. So he has total control of your cash account.
Well, I have special permissions set up for
Oh, no, I'm
Caitlin,
just
you know,
wondering, yeah.
Like, trust her, but, kind of like this, we do profit first, but then Caitlin every single week will fill up our operating account with 50K. Because we're doing a lot. And that commissions never come from us. Like, we always want to cut from the title company so we don't have to mess with things. Like that. And
So you don't pay the agents the commission? It goes title does it?
And let's say, like,
I've thought about that.
oh, it's so much better. 'Cause
Well,
it's CDA.
Title does it.
From a convenience standpoint, but from a revenue and I don't know if you're looking to sell your business one day, does it matter?
CSU.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's all.
So you still see your.
Do you make a CDA on every closing?
We do a DA and we send it to the title company.
It's a game changer. Like, yeah, because then they get their checks immediately. And
Yeah.
I was.
Is your
But then
title
does
company
does
pay?
your admin person have to do that, like reactively every time?
CSU, it's native, like, so it's like part of it.
It's on CSU and.
Yeah, it's like it'll generate a CDA. Like you can put in the commission splits or whatever they're on, and then it'll generate one. I think Follow Boss does.
Well, then you got.
Follow Boss will do it.
You can set it to whatever, so it works pretty
The
well.
only thing like with the previous company I worked for, they started doing that because they were having issues with money, and
Yeah.
their CPA told them that they couldn't write off commissions anymore, like because
Well, it's not hitting their it's no longer showing income, so you're going to cut your income in half, like technically, because you're not getting that money. Yeah.
But it's like, it's not that, like, I mean, if the accounting is right, it's fine. And so do you have a vault account for, do you have?
Oh no, I did. I set them up when I read the books, but then I put money in them like the first time, and then I never did it
So where
again.
does that 80K sit?
That'll sit in the operating account.
Okay. So that's kind of your vault, like.
Yeah, it just sits in operating. Like our monthly operational cost is like fluctuates between 40 to 60,000. So having $80,000 in your bank account actually sucks.
Yeah.
Like I need like $300,000 in my bank account to feel like okay, like if shit goes south for a few months, like we can actually make it. If we have one bad month, like we're right back to zero.
Like January.
Yes, like we are right back to zero. So like that is.
I'm there, yeah.
We just play with bigger numbers now, right? Like you make a lot more money, but then you also spend a lot more money. Like we made 1.2 and we spent $1 million. Like
Chris, does your,
Well, 40 or 60,
Austin,
mine's 120 a month.
yeah, that's
pay the agents, Austin, or does the title company pay Greg?
So at the beginning, we used to use CDAs and now.
When you say CDAs, help.
Commissions.
Commission.
Opposition.
Oh, like,
It's a
okay.
form, and so then the title company disperses. We did that in the early days. And then we shifted to doing it twice a month.
Okay.
Will that affect a business valuation if they're looking at revenue, or are they just going to look at profit?
Well, you're probably
You know,
you're still gonna book the revenue.
Like
Top
typically
line
they would
revenue.
say like, if your cogs are, really high, it's not considered, it's, what is it, in the grocery business, I mean, your cogs were crazy high.
Oh, yeah.
They're goods. And so like a PE groups would look at the real revenue, which is gross profit, because your cogs are so high. So, I mean, you guys all have different splits, so like, I think if your, splits are really in favor of the agent, then they're just gonna look at gross profit. If your splits are less, they'll probably look at gross revenue.
Mm.
And the reason being is like.
My splits are the same as your guys. I haven't changed them.
It's a very, we're a service-oriented business, and so, and highly contingent on people. And so there's more, I think a PE group would look at it as like more risk if you, in a service business, if you have a large percentage of your revenue going to commissions, because then they see there's more, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is. Your
Yeah, if they leave, that's like the majority of the
Right.
profit coming.
Yeah,
They-
exactly.
Yeah.
Where if the cogs are less in a service business, it's probably because you have a system in place. And
Yeah, I've heard they'd rather see 100 agents doing 5 deals a year than 5 agents doing 100 deals a year because like one person leaving can screw you, whereas if you spread it around, it's,
There's a balance there.
yeah, I'm sure there is, yeah.
But we went to the twice a month thing, so that there was no moments of the admin staff, one, being reactive, having to even go into the system and get the form and send it off. As your closing numbers go up, and you have to do that all day, every day, that's a little bit of distraction from the flow of your day. The second thing is, we do the up-down bonus on reviews. And
See,
so
that's
some-
very hard because we the CDAs.
So yeah,
And so like the up-down bonus you can't do if you do CDAs, because sometimes the review doesn't come in until the week after.
So the second half of a month, let's just say,
Yeah.
is actually paid on the 15th.
Yeah, and then, the other thing is.
The first half is paid on the first.
The things we learned the hard way was when a listing agent leaves us, all their active inventory, they don't get paid out on. It goes to the agent that gets assigned those listings.
the actives, yeah.
Yep, and then the pending listings, they get, paid on. And we have this, bonus we pay them when the listing goes active, right? And so after they leave, if they have a bunch of listings fail to sell, like for example, you have 5 of them fail to sell,
Yeah.
5 times.
I had that with Haley.
You have 5 failed to sell times 300 something, $50, whatever it is. You're talking about $2,000 that, that agent should have lost, they were still with you. And so we can backtrack and subtract that from their next commission check. Those listings that failed to sell, because, our agents lose their upfront bonus if the listing expires.
Yeah, but I think they're always 2 weeks behind on pay. We pay like,
Yeah.
we're in real time pay. We'd have to like take 2 weeks off, yeah.
So we have a clawback clause if a listing fails to sell, so the listing agent loses their upfront bonus if it fails to sell. They get a negative review, they have a clawback clause, on their upfront bonus. And so we couldn't do any of those things if we use the, CDA.
All our bonuses, like for the Google reviews that we pay them $50, we pay that at the end of the month. We do, our DAs they go to the title company, they get paid, we used to do the 2 weeks. And when we started the year, we changed it to like real time, and oh my God, it was like, they were so happy.
Yeah, that's
what we
one
do
complaint
now
for
is,
sure.
all Google reviews are paid at the end of the month like that. We wait till everything comes in, and then we give out the checks at the end of the month.
I mean, I know the agents would love to get the checks up front, but.
Yeah, but that's just how you do business.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
fine.
how I think about it, huh?
Volume is what precipitates.
Volume and then.
Yeah, when you gotta cut 100 checks, yeah.
It's a mess.
But it's easier to do a CDA for us. Like,
Oh, no, 100% easier, yeah.
I mean, at some point, I don't wanna, it's just part of the transaction coordinator thing.
Yeah.
Every day.
And that was happening on
And that was what's happening, yes.
Something y'all should maybe write down is what makes the agents happy is not always what's best for the business.
That's for damn sure.
Usually it's the opposite.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Truly.
But ultimately, and what's best for the business is also what's best for the agent. What I mean by that is the more profit
If we go out of business, they're out of business too.
the more
Exactly.
profit
Yeah.
we make as a company, the more dollars we can put back into opportunity generation, providing more leverage to our agents. And so it's to the agent's benefit if we're more profitable, because we can make that flywheel crank faster, we can build the flywheel out more robust. And so anyways, what's best for the agent is not always best for the company. And those commissions, this is an example of it. And then also like the splits on sphere deals and, and I'm not trying to, beat up that or anybody.
Money back.
Hey,
Hey,
He's exempt, I was told.
He's got so much, he just gives it away, yeah.
I mean, shoot, I probably need to burn it down and restart, but we'll wait.
Oh, wait,
that's extreme, come on.
yeah,
You're on fire, see? I'm a wholesaler now.
yeah. All right, guys, so inside sales. So these are my KPI metrics on our inside sales team. So I have 4 of them. Recently, though, we took Honey, who was the lower producer of the 4, and made her our like VA recruiter. So she books all our recruiting appointments, Calendly, like so all the appointments are set for a sales manager or myself. So calls, live answers. I've noticed our live answers have gotten really bad. I don't know if we're getting spammed or blocked a lot. Might need to change phone numbers. Conversations, so 2 minutes long. Appointments set, so this is good. So Jude has set 24 listing appointments this year so far. We've kept 13 of them, so he's slightly over 50%. And just so you guys know how I forecast my goals for the year on the list side, it is like at a bare minimum on the I side, we have to go on 50% of the appointments. And then at a bare minimum, we have to take 50% of those listings, right? Ideally, we're a lot higher, right? 70, 80% capped, and then like 60 to 70% won. But that's what we're gonna be working on this quarter. But when I look at how many listings I wanna sell, and I'm saying, okay, how many appointments do I need to set? I just cut everything in half each way. And Keisha set 21, and Christina's set 16. So,
These are all buyers,
no, these are all sellers.
all sellers.
Yeah, these are all sellers. Yeah, I don't have them turn in buyer KPIs. I actually took them off of, I had them answering phone shift calls because we had a low answer rate.
Sellers, listing agents, but these are just listing agents. Or listing, this is your listing stats you just said.
These are inside sales agents. These are all listing appointments that they've booked this year.
I gotcha.
So yeah, like almost 80 of the 100 have been from the inside sales team.
Gotcha.
So that worked really well.
You do buyer phone shift through Follow Up Boss by putting people on the elevators, or how do you do, or do you do Ring Central?
I hate Ring Central. Yeah, it's through phone shift. One of the reasons I went to Follow Up Boss is because they have such a robust phone system. So yeah, we have we call it phone shift group in there. So every Monday, whoever's on phone shift, Celeste just puts those agents in that group. So whenever those calls come in or those leads come in the lead routing, you can send it to an agent or you can send it to a group. So then it goes to the group, right? And then it's first to claim. Whoever gets it first gets the lead.
Oh, they are so competitive.
Oh yeah, we're always like, man, that someone's so fast. Like they'll see it, they'll click it, and someone already got it. So.
And it gets us like competitive as to be like, what phone carrier do you have to get in?
Yeah, we're like, people are like complaining that like it's their phone carrier, like they have Verizon, so like they get the leads faster, and I don't know, it may be true.
People with AT&T get them the fastest.
Really? I've thought about putting everyone's phone on the table and seeing like who has different, and seeing,
Try that on your next little game.
yeah, see like, well then they're gonna like,
No, then they're gonna hate each other.
yeah, then they're all gonna wanna, yeah, throw their phones away. This is our accountability chart. So we do follow EOS for our leadership. So me at the top, right now, I'm overseeing finance, which is basically our bookkeeper and our CPA. Inside sales, I'm running the 4 inside sales agents. Marketing is all me right now, plus like our lead providers. Sales are buyers agents. We have 19 of them. 2 of those are also considered company listing agents. And then Celeste oversees the operations side of the business. So we have a list side TC, who's Angela. We have our buy side TC, who is Mark, and he's in the Philippines as well. And then we have, and she lives in Hawaii. She was in office, but then she moved, but so she works remote. And then we have our new lead manager, Pauline. So she is also a VA. Pauline's job, actually, I'm gonna let you go over operations. Okay. So that's our accountability chart right now.
Where are the VAs or the ISAs in there?
Right here, these 4. So inside sales, I just put them all 4. I didn't want to put 19 because then my picture wouldn't have fit. Yeah. So I just put the number 19 and 2.
Okay. And so you're not quite comfortable with the 2 yet to like take any and all listings?
Not yet. One of them's still learning. The other one, it's availability.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm still, right now, the way that I'm doing it, and I've done this before, is I'm going on all of the listing appointments again. And one of them will come with me, and then they will handle the listing. I will make sure we get the contract signed, and then I'm hands off from there.
Oh, so that's good.
So at least, because like seller success calls and managing all your actives and all your pendings, like my service sucks, like to the client. When I have all these other things going on and trying to do all these other things, like seller success calls and like missed phone calls, like it can get bad. And so I need someone to help me like do the day-to-day service delivery so that I can just go turn and burn and keep getting them.
When you do that, do you pay your listing agents?
Same split. I'll give them the split.
What about the go live bonus, too?
We have actually never done the go live bonus. I'm actually getting ready to bring that on. I'm actually started.
Do that.
we were considering, so here's, in order to go find, if I have to go out and find other listing agents, we considered increasing the listing side split by 5%. So 20 and 15 instead of 15 and 10. But what I think we're going to do instead is the go live bonus, because the numbers kind of equal for the, because we're closing 6 consistently, so I can give 3 to each agent. They're going to make $75,000 to $80,000 on those closings, plus you give them an extra 15 to 18 on the bonus. They'll be at 90 to 100 grand.
And then they get a chance.
And they'll be doing 36 to 40 closings a year.
And they get a chance to do, to get a Google review as well, another 2.5%.
I stopped that a long time ago too.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't do the, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't do the upfront bonus and we don't do the Google review bonus.
Or you guys have a downside bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Usually it's knocked if they don't.
Yeah, 2.5%.
If they don't what?
They don't get it.
Okay.
We did it. It's just the math. Like for me, like I have to do all that math all the time, and it's just, it's so time consuming and it's just a lot. And so I got rid of that a little while ago. But we are really good at getting reviews. So
Yeah.
as long as you're doing that, like that's one of our rocks, right? Like get 50 5-star reviews this quarter. Like, because that drives Google LSA and that's one of our best lead providers. So it's a super important thing. It's almost like that should be like a main focus of your company.
Like, sure, it could like overtake.
We get so much business. It's like the Amazon effect, right? Like you go on Amazon, you look at who has the most 5-star reviews, right? And then that's usually the one you buy. And that happens to us all the time. Our Google is our best lead source on listings. All right, recruiting. So year to date, we have signed up 23 people into our scholarship program. So those people are in their classes right now. The goal is to hit 25 a quarter, so to sign up 100 people this year. With the goal, the end goal, right, of building a scholarship recruiting pipeline that generates 5 new agents joining every 30 days. So we want to have 5 people every 30 days coming in through the scholarship program. It's going to take 6 months to a year to build that out.
And your listing manager is the one that's handling this, right?
One of my ISAs, so Honey.
That's brilliant, because it's overwhelming if it's somebody that's in the leadership team.
So the way we do our, so we've signed up 24 licensed agents this year already, and then we have onboarded 20 so far. So I have a group of another 4 to 5 starting in 2 weeks. So the way we do our interviews, Honey, so Indeed ads, so actually let's talk about how we get them. So our scholarship, we do through Facebook and Indeed, but Facebook is the real big, the big lead generator for this. So this is like one of our ads that we've ran from best to worst. So like this ad right here, the 50K guarantee with the dollars in the hand, outproduced all of them by like spades, right? So I basically turned everything off and put all the money on that one. And we did have a big budget for about a month. So we had 123 people submit their information through that one ad in about a month. So that's how many leads we generated. Those are hooked up directly into Follow Up Boss. So that gets assigned to the ISA. She calls, books them an appointment. And if it's a scholar, if they're unlicensed, it is a group online interview. So we use Calendly. So we have a couple of time slots. And she will book them an appointment in Calendly so that we're signing up 4 to 5 people at a time. If it's a licensed agent, and we do get licensed agents coming through this too. So this does generate licensed agents as well, which is kind of a nice little bonus. We spent $3,100 on this ad this year, so a lot. Our lead cost is high, so Brad, you said you could probably get that way down. So this is me just like posting some shit and then just letting it go. Like I did not try to optimize, like that was gonna be one of my rocks, was to get these leads under $7. That rock went away now that we don't have the salesman. Like that's not super important. As long as we have them coming in, like we can optimize later. Like just get them in right now. So these are all the numbers for our ads in Facebook.
And can we get that collateral, the Facebook, the actual ads?
Yes, yeah.
Because that would be.
I took the agent, the $50,000 agent opportunity.
Yeah.
I just took the same slides and I just changed the word opportunity to scholarship.
Okay. When you share the ads.
Yeah, and then I wrote my own ad copy and my own headlines, really, and so they worked. And I made my own little form, so they go through, and then it just goes into Follow Boss, and the ISA books the appointment. And then I just show up for 30 minutes to the meeting.
That's great.
Is it here, or were you?
It's online. Yeah, it's on Google Meets. So, and those are group interviews. We had 25 people for our first one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
The show-up rate sucks.
Of course.
Show-up rate sucks. But like everyone who goes on that call, I close every single one of them almost every time.
Yeah. That's sweet.
And I can do it in 30 minutes. So it's a really easy call.
On the scholarship programs, are you getting, what are you buying? Are you still with the same company? Agent, what was it guys, that we were using? Aceable?
No, I never did that.
Okay, so what are you doing?
So actually, that's a good little thing there. So I used to go just send people to the real estate school, right? So we just tell them who I use, just go do them, right? Celeste, though, at the previous company, they kind of did the same thing, but with a different company called First Tuesday. And so I actually switched over to them. So the way to offset the cost, so our scholarship program, we don't pay up front. We pay when they get their license and join the team. We'll reimburse them for the cost of the license and the cost of the courses, which is like $700, right? And so they only get the reimbursement once they join the team, right? Then for every person, though, that we send to First Tuesday, they gave us our own little link. We had a broker partnership. They reimburse us 33%. So I get $100 for every person that I send to the school. And so that will completely offset the cost of doing the scholarship program.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you say
Because most
first?
people aren't going to complete it, but the ones that do, like we're getting $100 on every single one of them. So the ones that do, that money helps pay for the entire scholarship program.
Did you say First Tuesday?
First Tuesday.
Okay.
Are they national or just?
I don't know.
Because Aceable started, like, they won't, it's $5,000.
I got an email from them the other day about advertising their bulk program, and it was still expensive.
It was yeah, we
It's like
stopped.
twice as much as what they quoted us 3 years ago.
Yeah, so that's the only reason we've stopped, is because it's getting more expensive.
Let's just get a different
So
provider. I think it's just
I actually got some email recently about the whole thing. I reached out to them. And so Champions will do it for $175, the whole package.
Yeah.
6 classes.
How many-
Damn. Ours are $370 for 3 classes.
And they're national.
And I emailed
That's the class.
For the 3 classes, it's $370 plus the test prep, and then the test and license, it's $300.
Wow.
Could we
Oh,
get
so
that
they take it all the way
information?
through to the
So
state.
then that's-
No, so once you pass your classes, then you have to go through the Department of Real Estate. You send them $300, and then it takes 2 months, and they'll approve you. You go take your tests.
The agent, you don't pay for that, the agent takes
Yes,
care of
Yeah, I remember.
If they join the team, I'll reimburse them for that.
it.
So I reimburse them for the money they spend on the classes, and then also the cost of applying for their test, which is $300.
It takes 5 times to pass. You don't pay for all 5.
Well, they end up a licensed agent either way.
So you'll reimburse them for all 5?
No, only once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my buddy, he told a great joke one time. He said, you know what you call a real estate broker who failed his broker's test 5 times?
Real estate broker.
A real estate broker.
It's like you know what it calls
Yeah.
a doctor who was last in his class, a doctor.
A doctor. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, that's pretty good.
That's gonna be on your Instagram handle.
Right.
There's a test fee and then there's a license fee.
Yeah, test and license. Yeah, it's $300 total.
This is beautiful. I love this slide.
Yeah,
That's straight off of.
I can't get that, like.
That's all I did was I screenshotted Indeed. I did not make these. That is on my Indeed analytics page. I just screenshotted it. So this is Indeed. So our job ads that we run, which you have a copy of all my job ads as well for agents in there. What we do with our job ads is we have 3 different versions. The ad is the same. We change out the headline every 2 weeks. And so what Honey does, she just goes into Indeed, pauses one, turns the other one on every 2 weeks. And so because it always, like, you got to change out your headlines. Like, that's the most important part of the marketing, right? And so we've had 193 people apply through Indeed. We've only spent $1,000 on it this year. And so we run scholarship and recruiting ads. Actually, we're just running licensed agents ads right now, but the majority of people that apply for it are not real estate agents, but we do get licensed agents through that as well. I don't know if I put the other slide up. Yes, I did. So these are my headlines that I run. This one, night and day the best. So I've had 127 people out of the 193 applied from this ad right here. So start your dream career in real estate. Join our winning team. That headline performed the best.
Can we get this deck?
You have it in your book right now.
It's in your booklet.
Yeah.
He has
That was a test.
Yeah. Trust me. I go to multiple masterminds every single year. I know exactly what you guys need. Yeah.
It's right there, Ed, just turn around, you got it right there.
Yeah, you got this whole slide deck
And it's
already.
okay, she just stole my copy of the P&L that I
Yeah.
She didn't even give advice.
My second best performing before it just fell off a cliff was real estate agents. More leads, more closings, more success. That headline. So that one did second best. I had 47 of people apply on that one.
Oh, wow, but the first one.
I wasn't doing this yet though, so he may have just let that ad run way longer than the other ones. So maybe that's why it accumulated. I would still play with headlines and see, but that's all that you have to change is change the headline. Just make 3 or 4 jobs the same job, and then just change 4 different headlines, and then just run them for 2 weeks each and see which one does the best.
I'm trying to remember which one I read.
I don't remember. So the other thing that I do, which is how I found Celeste, if you get like the Employer Pro account or whatever, you can see, and this is what I told Shelby, and she went and booked an appointment the other day, that one day you texted me. You can see who is active, like how long, like when the last time someone was on Indeed. Because everyone has an Indeed account, right? So you can see like, oh, this person looked on Indeed 2 days ago. And so you can filter by like, show me only people that have been on Indeed in the last 2 weeks that have real estate agent in their job history. All the licensed agents pop up that are searching for jobs on Indeed. And then what I do is I just send my job ad to them. That's how I found her. She applied to be an agent. I saw her looking for jobs on Indeed, sent her the ad, she applied, came in, told me about her experience, and then she became the operations manager. And she was looking for jobs in Vegas. So when we open a Vegas office, she wants to go run it.
That's your Indeed, when you say campaign, that's your Indeed title.
My job headline, yeah. My job title, yes. Yeah, I don't just put like real estate agent. It's like you want to have like something that's going to grab their attention.
I think it is that one, the real estate more leads, more close. I think that's the one I read.
That one?
Before we leave, do you think you can just show me, like say like this ad right here that you already have running, and how you found agents that are looking at the
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and how you send it directly to her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
It was like a poke. It was like, confirm your interest in Ryan Dobbs.
Yeah, instead of them applying, it just sends them a message, hey, do you want to apply for this job?
And I can, since I'm on the account, or it comes through whatever our email, Gmail is, I can see those pokes.
Yep.
I mean, I get a copy of those pokes. Or the response, maybe it's the ones who respond.
All right, now I'm going to let Celeste talk.
Oh, fun.
I've had that camera for a while.
I'm gonna-
But I just started using it a lot. Oh yeah, that's like a really good. I bought it for like vlogging and stuff. It's like the best one.
I hope you guys can hear me.
It's got a wide angle lens on it.
Oh, the camera.
You want me to turn
Okay.
it off?
No, it's fine.
How much is that? What is that?
It was like $600-700.
The big one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's really nice. Just got to get used to being in front of a camera.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay, so no, when my mom really, I love my mom, but she really wanted me to be a child star, and so she would throw me in front of cameras, in front of people in like boardrooms like this, and I'd be like, I don't want to do this, and I would cry. Yeah, I would cry, and she'd be like, you embarrassed me. It was terrible, but yeah, I was not meant to be famous. So, what'd you say? I know, it's making me nervous. Okay, so
Making her get out of her comfort zone.
literally making me get out of my comfort zone. But I can hold the tune. I can sing very well.
Just sing the whole thing.
Oh no, that's even worse. You guys will catch it sometimes. I'll sing. I'll sing to myself sometimes. You guys will hear it. So we have 3 really main, in the operations department, we have 3 main like spaces that we use. We have Brokerment, we have a Google Sheet, and we have Follow Up Boss. So this is Brokerment. We have a checklist. Literally, I just gave you guys a quick example of one. But it has everything that they need to do. They create a transaction in Follow Up Boss. They start group text, every single thing they got to do. And in addition to that, all of the listing documents that need to be uploaded to Brokerment. Sometimes things don't get done on time. And they're all like time stamped, so I know when they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, or why I have to find out why it's late and things like that. But they're usually pretty good at communicating with me about like why it's not in on time or what they need to do. So the TCs, once we get a listing, the TC, Angela, she would be the one who uploads all of this, and then on the buyer side, the buyer TC, Mark, is the one who uploads. This is the listing management one, but
That's listing management.
yeah. We have checklists for every single kind of transaction possible. We have mobile homes, vacant land, residential, FHA, every different kind of loan possible. So that's how we use Procurement. The spreadsheet, which hurts my head, we all hate it. But Angela did spend a lot of time putting it together. It goes even further. And actually, let me see if I can click it.
Yeah.
I actually like hyperlinked it so that you guys could see like how in detail it gets. Yeah. And it goes all the way, it goes as far as like when the inspection, appraisal and loan contingencies right here at the top, you'll see when they're due, if they've been done, if they've removed their contingencies, what inspections, all of the stuff that we need to know, it's all right here. The way that she has it right now is all the listings that are in escrow go here at the top. All of our active listings are here in the middle, and then the lands ones are kind of pushed to the bottom and separated so we know the difference. And then we have our coming soons or listings that are going to hit the market soon, and then the ones that have been withdrawn didn't hit the market. And then the buyer transactions are here at the bottom. And then once they're closed or once they finish, it's okay. They just will literally grab them and drag them down to closed, which is.
Thank Jody Rotten for being the founding thing of this.
I'm not thanking Jody.
Yeah, no, I'm not thanking anybody.
But honestly, here's the thing, Ryan. It's what works in the TC's mind. Like, that's what they live and breathe in it, and that's, they have to have their own little system in addition to the system. So I would say, okay, you can get rid of it, but I honestly think that's what allows them to know.
Well, she needs to have it on her own, but
Yeah. So if she, I was a TC for a long time. When I got into this, I was like, my head hurts. It's never updated. Not only that, where's this thing at? Not only that, on the spreadsheet, we have Follow-Up Boss. I have a bunch of templates. I'll hyperlink. I hyperlinked all of these so I could show you guys like literally an example. This one, okay. So we have our deals right here at the bottom. On the deals, they not only do they have to upload the deals into Follow-Up Boss, they have to put it in Brokerment and then put it in the Google Sheet. So that's why I'm like, I feel like I'm going back, like running to one end of the office and running back to the other, filling things out 4 times a day, 6 times a day. I don't know how they do that. I would lose my mind. And that's one thing that Mark, the TC, he told me, he's like, I feel like I'm just like spending time filling the same thing out all day. And he's like, it hurts my head. And I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one who feels that way. So on Follow-Up Boss, at least for the TCs, I have a bunch of texting templates. We do it with our lead generation too, with like, Redfin, Referral Exchange, any new leads that we get in, there's like, they get instant text messages, emails. I put an example here for the TC intro because he had a lot of our TC, or Mark had a lot of templates that he was using, and they were kind of robotic, and then we've been having these issues with the phone numbers being flagged. So I'm like, you need to sound like a person. So I've given him a bunch of new stuff to do, a bunch of new ways to talk to people, and he used to tell them like, oh, I work from 9 to 6 or 8 to 5 or something like that. And I told him like, don't even tell people that. If you're in a group chat with people, you have to start a group chat. If you're in a group chat with people, if you don't answer, whatever agent on the other side of things is going to answer if you can't. So that's, you are expressing that you're a team. You guys are kind of here to work off of each other. You can't be like, oh, don't bother me after 5 p.m.
Are all your client communications, like emails and texts, through Follow-Up Boss, and you use templates in Follow-Up Boss?
Yes. So I've been working on fixing that because
But you don't use Gmail?
We do. You can link your Gmail here.
Gmail's linked to Follow-Up Boss. Yeah, but I mean, I understand that, but what I'm saying is when the agent is sending like, or when you guys say send a win email, or you send a listing appointment, it goes through Gmail and then it populates in the
They'll use their email.
So the template, your email templates are in Gmail and your text templates are in Follow-Up Boss?
So our email templates and our text templates are both in Follow-Up Boss, and then Mark showed me that you can actually put templates in Gmail. I had no idea. So he did both. He does both just in case.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, if you don't mind. I'm like, no, I don't mind. But this is where you can find them.
Isn't template is like your first email, like your, you know what I mean? Everything else after that is like a real conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of these templates are like, and that's exactly what I've explained to him. They're all prompts. I don't know why I'm on that page. They're all prompts. So like they start the conversation, but they don't necessarily tell him what, not every transaction is cut and dry. Everything is different every single time. So I always get on him about like, you need to talk to people like as if like this isn't a line work, like everything, there are so many variables that you have to like really be involved. I always have to tell him because his main concern was that he doesn't know what's going on, and that's why we require all of our agents to use Follow Up Boss and use these group chats, because they'll have side conversations, they'll pick up the phone and talk to them, they have a text conversation on the side, and Mark's like, I've been asking for an update for 3 days and no one's told me anything. And I'm telling him, well, you also need to be proactive, you need to check the file, because here you can see all the text messages that have been going on. But I tell him, when you initially meet these clients, when you introduce yourself to them, you do need to let them know all communication needs to be in this group chat so we all know what's going on. And that's mainly what we went over when I did the 4-week contracts class, because they needed, like, that was something that all the agents needed to understand. They get kind of possessive with the clients, and they're like, I've been working with them, I deal with them, they form these relationships, but I'm like, you guys, we need to know what's going on. In addition to like the TC templates and stuff, we also, I wish I would have put one up, but I also do this for all of our lead generation websites and portals. So Zillow, Redfin, Referral Exchange, I think there's like 7 or 8 of them. Every time we get a new lead that comes in, they get an automatic text and an automatic email from us, like, hey, this is, I think it's client care right now, client care with Ryan Dobbs' team, or Ryan Dobbs Realty, I'm sorry, you were looking at this property, like, would you like to go see it? And they get that for 3 days until they respond. It automatically shuts off once they respond. So they get that, and then I answer, on Follow Boss, I get all of the reception calls, so I answer those, but only if they like have nothing to do with buying or selling, and there's a problem, or like it's a sales call. Let's see, we have the listing TC. I know he kind of introduced her already, but what she does is she introduces herself to the seller via phone call first, and then starts a group chat. She creates all the transactions on the Google sheet, and she works closely and is in constant communication with our listing manager, even though we don't have one right now. So right now it's me. We talk about like the listings hitting the market, if they can't hit it on time, and why, based off of like the seller's availability, photos. She also does weekly success calls with the sellers. I know that the listing agent does, but she also does it herself. She also does them, which is really, really cool. So whether they're pending or not, she does check in with them and let them know, like, hey, or ask them how things are going. I knew that she did it, but I didn't realize the importance of it, because they like call her for everything. Like they love her. It's really like, we get a lot of Google reviews. I'm responsible for checking up on them, and a lot of the Google reviews are like our we call them NPS, Net Promoter Scores. They always say like, Angela was the best. Nothing about Ryan. Nothing about the listing agent. It's like, Angela was the best. Be more like Angela. They're like, be more like Angela. Angela was awesome. And I'm like, that's awesome. So yeah, and we like to say that we own our transactions, at least on the TC side of things. Like once it gets into escrow, we handle everything but the negotiations, the TCs do. Obviously we leave that up to the agent, that's their job, but they are responsible for getting everything done. The contracts, or the contract sign, disclosure sign, everything from the time we open escrow until the time we close, operations owns that, and they should, and I say this to Mark a lot, you should know more than the agent as to what's going on in the contract or what's going on in the sale, because they look to you for guidance and you shouldn't be looking to them. And I kind of tell them, like, if this person were to go missing tomorrow, you should be able to close this transaction like from the middle of escrow all the way to the end. And he kind of gets like, why would they go missing? But that's not the point. He gets all nervous. And then at the end of closing, at the end of the transaction, they do request Google reviews and the NPS survey, which is the Net Promoter Score at closing. It is, I'll go over it, I'll show you one.
Now, the 2 listing agents that you have, and I'm sorry if you said this and I missed it, do they do the weekly success calls, or the TC?
They're supposed to.
So agents do weekly success calls, so that listing agent, but then we also make the TC do one too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So she does it
TC
as well.
is more based on pins, or will they do actives as well?
They'll do actives, whether it's pending or not. Yeah, whether it's pending or not, they will call them. She has
They'll
like,
do 2 calls.
I was looking at her
Days on
calendar.
a certain day of the week, or?
Yeah, I was actually looking at her calendar for that. So she does pendings on Thursdays, and then on Fridays she does the ones that are active.
Do your listing agents, we try to do that on Monday.
So we switched.
We switched it.
Whenever the seller says that there is the best time.
So they selected.
So when I went to Texas in December and we had Kia go through the whole thing, like her script is like, when's the best time for you? Like, we're gonna call you at that time. And so
Okay.
we switched to that after
You
that.
document that, where do you document?
On our I
that?
Love My Home form, when we do the listing,
And
at the
then where do
listing
you put it
appointment.
after that, so that, or
It
does
just-
it just go on a calendar?
It should
or-
just go on a calendar.
Yeah, it goes on the calendar. They have Follow Boss also has like a task bar so that they put tasks. I automatically task them to do it's a seller success call for like 20 weeks. I mean, you can stop it at any time, but it's like,
Oh, it's above, like,
it-
a plan?
yeah,
You can make
What's
an
it, what do you
action
call
plan.
it?
it is an action plan. Yes, it's an
Yeah,
action plan, and
but
it'll be
title
right
is-
here.
Seller success call.
Yeah, it's titled seller success call, and it's tasked literally right here, and then it's in their notifications every.
I even thought about making a smart list for seller success calls so that I can see which ones are being done and not done.
Yeah, which ones are being done and not done. Yeah. They're supposed to. For the most part, I believe they do, but
Yeah.
we all get busy, so sometimes we need reminders. The leads manager, she's new. Her name is Pauline. She's really good, and she's catching on really fast because she's been with us for like 2 weeks now. Oh no, 3 weeks.
Philippines.
From the Philippines, yeah, she's also remote. So with the exception of a few, most of our lead sources require their own updates on their website. So she's like literally manually updating things. The agents are required to do it in Follow Up Boss, and she'll just go and take their last update and put it in the lead source, or where like in Redfin or Zillow. She does these portals, and then she does it on every single individual lead. We got locked out of Redfin because Ryan did something, and